We're drawing to a close at Electric Picnic 2014, and Jim Kerr from Simple Minds has dropped in. Amazingly, so you haven't got a speck of mud on your shoes. I'm not quite sure how this has happened, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, I guess I don't know myself. I said you learn how to float, but yeah, it doesn't look like I've been hanging around here too long today. But I certainly enjoyed every minute that we spent on stage.
Yeah, it looks as so. Like, I mean, does anything new happen for a band that have been around for quite a while, like yourselves?
You know, that's a good question because, a number of songs, we only played a short set today, of course. At festivals, you play a short set. And when we do our own set, we do about 2 hours and we're able to maybe chop and change half the set every night. So it's very rare we play two sets in the one night. But we are in an interesting sort of position because next year will be 38 years of the band. Every night we go on stage, essentially we're saying this is what we've done with our lives, which by the nature of that is a bit of a nostalgia trip. But we're just about to plop a new album, writing another chapter, which kind of refreshes. We find it sort of refreshes the whole thing, and so from that point of view, I mean, you could say you go on stage as anything new. I mean, it is a one-off. I mean, they might invite us back to Electric Picnic in 10 years' time. They might not, but there'll be a number of people there. Might be the one and only time they've seen Simple Minds, and even if we play next week or tomorrow night, tonight was unique in that sense.
You mentioned new material, and I'd read that you'd been back in studio working on a new album. How important is it for a band to, for keeping yourselves interested and hungry? Is it to go back in and keep kind of renewing yourselves?
Well, it's what we do. It's who we are. I mean, if you'd said to us right at the start of this whole thing, what do you want out of this? We were only kids. We didn't know anything. It was different then. No one knew about careers and money and all that stuff. If you'd said to us then, what do you want out of this? We'd have said, we want to play. We want to be a great live band. We want to go around the world proving that we're a great live band. And we've won the lotto in that sense that after all these years, we still get the opportunity to at least work with that challenge. Because it is a challenge every night to go on and try and become a better band, try and play better, try to sing better, try to give more. It rarely feels same old, and we've been blessed to have had this life in music, this career.
Every band at some point in their career comes across the critic, and
Yeah.
it must be very, very hard to take at times. How do you take that?
Oh, well, when we were younger, it was difficult. You took it really personal, and because you can't understand, it's all in your head. You think, why can't they hear it the way? But on the other hand, let's be honest. I mean, we're not. It's not like we're above criticism. There has been, we or anyone. There's phases of the band where I think we've been more inspired than others. There's phases where you may be running on empty. But when you've been doing something for so long, it's no longer a career. It's your life. And your life doesn't always go swimmingly well. I wish it did. I don't know anyone's life who always goes swimmingly well. You've got periods where everything's great. It couldn't be better than you've periods where you lose confidence, or So if you're making music, sometimes it's the right idea but the wrong time. Sometimes it's But to answer your question, no. When we were younger, I think being a live band, at least you could go on stage that night and you had an audience that would maybe encourage you or give you the oxygen to continue and so on. But we were learning on the hoof. We didn't have any rich mummy or daddy to send us to music school or there was no manual, there was no book. We had to go out and learn it, and we invented ourselves, and it took a while to form.
When you throw those songs out at a festival like this, what is the kind of what is the is there an energy that you obviously you clearly get back from a crowd? Can you ever get used to that?
Used to it. We are very lucky. Everywhere we go, we have these audiences, and we have these songs that seem to they seem to embrace. They seem to be open, and the audience comes in. I think when people come to see us, that they seem not to just watch; they get involved, and I don't know if that's a byproduct to the music, but it means everywhere we go, as you say, we get this. I almost see it in my head. It's a bit of a sort of electric circuit. We feed them, and they feed us, and it goes round like that. And on a good night, it just seems to really sort of spiral up, and you get an amazing feeling. But the best feeling, people. It's a good question. People say, what's your favorite part of the set? My favorite part of the set is the very last minute, because usually then you look out and it sounds corny, it sounds cheesy, but that's when people are smiling. People are elevated, or they're into it, and that's the great thing about music. It can do that.
So the new album that you've been working on, is it finished? And if so, when are we likely to hear it?
It's on the cusp. I mean, we've got a couple of days this week to sort of cross the T's and dot the I's, and it's coming in middle of November, so it's imminent. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, looking forward to hearing that, and it's great to see you at Electric Picnic. I hope you're back before 10 years time.
Yeah, who knows? But certainly we won't forget it. We really enjoyed ourselves.
Cool. Thanks, Jim.
Pleasure.